Hi there, I'm Mara from Samsara Holistic Counselling, and this is a video about anxiety. I'm a counsellor, I'm a holistic counsellor, and I myself have suffered from anxiety all my life. And I found that managing anxiety and the tips that I'm going to share with you really helped me, but also that going into the roots and thinking holistically about it, and that's using mind and body and spirit together, is really the thing that can make healing begin. And that's really what we want to be doing, because managing is fine, but that can be such surface level things. We really want to go right in and really start to heal. And anxiety is really just a state of being. It's just a symptom that is showing us something. That's all it is. And it's a really good thing as well. You know, if we're not aware and we're not feeling from that awareness, then we can't grow, then we can't learn, then we can't expand, which is what we need to be doing, you know, while we're here in this life. So let's start with what anxiety is. Anxiety can be defined as excessive worry or excessive fear that can affect our lives very much, can really have an impact in our lives. Now, I like to call anxiety as a thought virus. So that's a virus of a thought that's continuous, and unless we recondition our mind, it's just going to continue as so and can get worse. So that's what anxiety is. And there's obviously a scale of that. You know, some people suffer from anxiety worse than others. But it really comes from the same place, and it's this place that we want to heal. So let's start with the first tip. Tip number 1, stop feeding the anxiety. So what I mean by that is that we want to stop using and being, you know, having things in our environment that's going to impact our anxiety, it's going to make it worse. So watching the news first thing in the morning may not be the best thing. Watching the news full stop is not the best thing. It's all negative stories in the news. You know, we don't want to be making that worse. We don't need to be hearing that. You know, that's not a reflection of real life. Real life, it's not all negative. You know, it's such a balance between light and dark. So we don't need to be doing that. Maybe there are people around you that might be making your anxiety worse, so you can think about that as well. Certain things you might eat, you might drink, might be making it worse, like coffee. Depending on the type of coffee, but maybe coffee in the morning is not a good idea. Caffeine can make anxiety worse, so we don't want to be really having caffeine in the morning. You know, you can maybe have green tea instead, and then hopefully lead to herbal tea. Sugars, obviously, and processed foods, we all know, can only make things worse. You know, again, we have to work with our body in order to heal our minds, you know, so it's everything together, it's holistic. Tip number 2, breathing. We've all heard it, but it's true. Breathing is so effective, especially for anxiety. If you're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, even if you're not having an attack, but breathing every day is really effective. We want to be breathing slowly and deeply every day. We want to practice that. So I do the 4-4-8 breathing, where I breathe in 4, hold my breath for 4 counts, and then breathe out 8. Your exhale should be at least double the inhale. There's another one that's called the 4-7-8 breathing, but there's lots of different ones you can do, so you can do your research on that. But basically, deep, slow breathing, and you want to practice that every day so it becomes like human nature for you. Okay, tip number 3, exercise. You want the exercise to be quite intensive, ideally, so HIIT exercises. Yoga has been shown to be great for anxiety, particularly restorative yoga and Ashtanga yoga as well. However, if you feel like maybe you can't do these type of intensive exercises, maybe you don't have time, then anything at the start could be can be good enough. You know, you want to be moving your body, you want your body and mind to be working together and be stimulated. You know, the whole thing is really how you can engage your body to be able to help your mind. So exercise absolutely is a very effective one. Lots of research in that shows how effective that can be for anxiety and depression actually as well. Okay, tip number 4, meditation. This is something that I know some people find difficult to do. I found meditation difficult at the beginning as well. It takes a lot of practice, but I think it also takes research. You have to really understand what meditation is, because I think some people think that it's not thinking and just stopping your thoughts, and that's what meditation is. But you can't do that. You know, you can't stop your thoughts. You can redirect your thoughts, you can redirect your energy, but you can't stop thinking. That's not possible. So I follow mindfulness meditation. I found that the easiest one to really start for me, and I've just continued that. And that's really thinking about, identifying sounds around you, for example, but also scanning your body as well. And all mindfulness meditation is practicing being in the present, being in the now, being in the present moment, and that's all you're doing. So you're not thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen later, what happened yesterday. You're thinking about literally right now. You know, what do I hear around me? What's my body saying right now? So it's really practicing being in the present, being in the now, which is vital in mental health. Okay, next tip number 5 is gratitude. So that's being thankful for the day. What things happened during your day that you're really thankful for? It could be anything. It could be lovely food, it could be sunny weather, it could be anything. You don't want really the same thing every day. You want to be thinking of different things that you're thankful for. You can write that down in a journal. You can do it however you want. But that can be very, very useful. Writing things down, just a side note, journal writing can be really useful as well when it comes to anxiety and anything really, any kind of, you know, state of being that you're experiencing. So that could be another one as well, on a side note to being thankful every day. Okay, tip number 6 is the tip that's going to go right to the roots, and it's really going to start healing us, and that is understanding that anxiety is just a message that needs to be heard. And it's as simple as that. Your anxiety is a symptom, and it's just telling you, it's just showing you something. But the question is, are we listening to it? And actually we should be. When we listen and when we really hear the anxiety that's going on in us, then we can actually start healing. But the beginning can be hard because it's very confrontational. So when you go through the anxiety, you want to really feel the sensations that are going on in your body and what you're thinking, what are your thoughts. You know, you want to be listening to it. You want to be feeling everything, you know, whether that means you're still like this and you're shaking or whatever you're going through. You want to be feeling that. I know, yeah, it sounds scary, but you do. You don't want to be distracting yourself. You don't want to be saying, oh, I'm just going to watch TV instead. No, you need to be listening to that, because there's a culture that we all, I guess, have, and especially when we live stressful lives, which is what's going on. You know, we work 9 to 5, we come home and we don't really get much rest time, we don't really get much me time, we don't really get much, you know, self-love time. So we just distract ourselves because we don't want to know, but really we want to be more aware. It all starts from awareness. Once we're aware, once we're using our minds and becoming aware of things, then we can start to heal. Then we can listen to all these things going on in us. And once we start listening, once we start understanding, we can talk with it, and then we can start healing, you know. But it only starts from awareness listening and understanding. That's where it comes, and you want to be noticing these things without judgment. You know, it's really easy to judge ourselves, and it's fine, obviously we're going to do that in the beginning, but we really want to get into the habit of no judgment, because it's about love. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's about loving yourself, and we need to be listening. Yeah, so that's my final tip. It's a message. Anxiety is a message that needs to be heard, and unless it's heard, unless you listen to it, unless you talk with it, you can't heal. Okay, so in summary, we want to use self-love tools. We want to basically stop feeling the anxiety, and recondition our mind. We want to listen and understand the anxiety, and finally, and most importantly, we want to take power over our mind to really start to heal. Okay, until next time, take care.